Observation post. Let's talk about observation posts. Okay, so here's my range card. It's not terribly complicated, but you can see a dark shape to the left and a dark shape to the right. That is forest. In the middle you can see the observation point location is right there. Got some water features there, as we have in front of us. And you can see this this first area right here. This kind of dark area here is a fringe of timber going from the left to the right, as you see there. Okay, that's kind of like looking at it like this. Then we have some dead ground behind that point, and then even further away, we have the that small embankment that you can see, that fringe of trees way off in the distance. Then we have some individual trees, and then to the right we have nothing but bush and swamp and trees again. But in the meantime, in the middle we also have some water, as we see there, grass line, and then behind there we see willow, which I can't zoom in with this camera, but that's what we have. And just a legend for anybody else that comes behind you, just to know what these different logos mean to them, so that they can reference it, the date and the time. Because depending on what time of the day you actually do this, you may not be able to see certain features. Like if you're doing it at night, for example, or in the evening. There are certain features here in the viewscape that you're able to look at you would not necessarily be able to see, depending on what time of the day it is. So just things for reference. So if a moose pretty much comes out anywhere in this viewscape, I'm going to be able to have a quick reference to see how far it is away based off the distance markers you see on this, from 100 to 500 meters. Okay, these are all been laser range finded. Is that a word? I don't know. Anyway, so I know what the distances of all these different things are. And if he comes out anywhere in this viewscape, one quick reference, I'll be able to make a quick sight adjustment to the rifle. And this beautiful piece is the took a T3 in 300 short mag. That's a VX2 low pull 3-9x40. It's a fantastic scope. And as you can see, I've got some quick turret adjustments that I can make if I need to. Another thing I've done here at this location is scented up. You want to make sure you got a good quality bag for this stuff. You don't want this stuff to leak into your clothing. But this here is super, I don't know, it doesn't smell very potent, but it's synthetic moose lure. You know, it's kind of cow estrus, synthetic. So you can use that stuff to set up your, you can see where I've kind of smeared it on. It's kind of a gel. Just applied it to the top end of the spruce branch, where it's going to be nice and dry, but it's still relatively open to the wind coming off the lake. So I've stinked this area up. There's another smear I've got on this dead willow log here. And you can see the that is not Mother Nature, that is Riflechair smearing moose stink onto a tree. In this case, little spruce. But observation post, but it's also attracting, moose. So if you're coming in here at nighttime, you might find yourself confronted with a bull moose, because he's attracted to your smell. But the idea behind this is essentially for me to mask my smell on the observation post, because we're hunting, right? We're hunting. So another one of the concepts behind this observation post is that I may need to prep the site just a little bit in order to get down into a really good shooting position. So what I've done here is I've basically got a pack set up to help me. So I'm basically in the prone supported position, meaning the rifle is not actually touching the pack, but your forearm might be. There's not a lot of space here because of this big spruce root wad, but if you had to, you could make it work. Be arching your back a little bit, because you're kind of pointing down slope just a little bit. So this here essentially would probably be more like the sitting position. And plus we're under a spruce tree, so we're kind of sheltered from a lot of the elements. Like right now it's snowing out there. It's just a light snow, but it's totally nice and dry underneath here. And we're out of the wind, Something to take into consideration for when you're setting up your observation post. Plus, I grubbed the ground here a little bit, ripped out some thorny rose bushes and whatnot. Lots of rose hip in here. some food for thought. A tool you might want to use in the future. May come in handy. Cheers. Hope you're doing well, and as always, Maple Leaf up.